one, the only Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein!
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Underrated Podcast. We are the Undercast company made up of myself, Derek McDuff, Ariel Ortiz, Fred, and Alan
Torres.
Brave part right there.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
This is a podcast where we discuss underrated movies, under the radar movies, and movies that deserve a second look. Today we're going to be talking about a 2001 film, A Knight's Tale, starring Heath Ledger, Shannyn Sossaom, Mark Addy, Alan Tyduk, Rufus Sewell, Laura Fraser, along with Paul Bettany as Geoffrey Chaucer and James Purefoy as Prince Edward the Black Knight. The film was written, directed, and produced by Brian Helgeland, and it received pretty mixed reviews upon release, getting a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes. It did all right financially, but it wasn't a runaway success. One thing I also want to point out before we start, happy anniversary, guys. This podcast is going to be releasing on April 27th, which is going to be almost a year to the day, just a couple days off from when we released our first 3 podcasts a year ago in 2019. So yeah,
I just got a notification
of
I just got a Facebook memory of us announcing it coming out, I think 2 days ago. So yeah.
Sick. Hey, everybody, if anybody wants to donate money to us, I'll give my PayPal out. No worries. Support us in that
Same
route.
here. I'll put my PayPal,
right.
my Venmo.
You guys want to support this podcast, then
if you guys want, we can start a Patreon. You can be the one and only Patreon supporter.
Who, me? I'm not.
No, anybody out there who's listening.
Anybody out there, come on.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, go ahead and support us and help us buy equipment so we can sound better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But now that we talked about that, does anybody want to get started with what they thought about the movie? Fred, this was your suggestion.
Well, what can you say about... Okay, if God could make a movie, he made it, is what I'm saying.
This isn't Jesus Christ Superstar.
What can I say for a movie that's... How can I put it? All right, so... No, because, okay, so it's supposed to be like a period piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically.
Right?
I want to get into that a little bit.
Well, I mean, it has historical figures.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. So the story-wise, it's supposed to be like a period piece, right? Like, a night in a certain period in a certain time. Okay, normally you would go like, the music would have the feel of that time. Mm-hmm. The music doesn't. But the music goes really well with all the scenes, right? You know the best way to put it? This is Guardians of the Galaxy before Guardians of the Galaxy.
I was thinking about that with the soundtrack.
True.
Yeah,
that's what it is, because the movie itself is good. The movie itself is its own, its own time. It's not like they try to be anything other than medieval times when they're doing it. But
it is the dialogue is a little anachronistic, which I don't think is a problem. I actually like it.
But what I'm saying is but the music, instead of the music flowing with it of being of that somewhat time period.
Like Gregorian chants and fucking Skyrim battle music.
Guys with like The Witcher, like the Dandelion, doing stuff. You end up having like Queen. You end up having David Bowie. You end up having who else? Don't they have AC/DC at one point?
I think so. Yeah. And then they have more like lowrider playing.
Yeah.
They have War.
They
had AC/DC.
So they have all this music that you would think would like pull you out, but they put it in such a way in the scenes that it works for what it is and for the style that it is, because it also has humor in it. Mm-hmm. So it works well. So that's why I say it's like if you wanted to equate it to something nowadays, would be like the very first Guardians of the Galaxy. It gives you that feeling.
Yeah.
And that's why I maybe for its time back then, is maybe why they got like a maybe like a kind of like a down the middle score. But if it were to come out nowadays, it would probably get better. I mean, look, they did it for like Suicide Squad. They tried to do the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of look to it. I don't know if the Birds of Prey was like that because I never saw the movie. You know, the Harley Quinn.
It wasn't too much.
It was kind of its own thing.
Well, like I said, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But I'm just saying, like with the soundtrack going with the movies things, this one did it well for not being its correct period-esque music.
Mm-hmm.
It really gets
did a really good job.
Yeah, it gets you going in certain spots. It's good music. It doesn't feel cheesy. It feels good when you watch it. Yeah, you could tell that the music doesn't go with it at the time, but it works. It just sounds good. The acting it's okay, but great at the same time. I don't know how to explain it.
Well,
like
it's tongue in cheek.
Yeah. But I feel like they're young still at the time doing their acting, so they're not like at the top of their game. But they show why they do get to the top of their game, why they become, over movies, over years, you see them get better and better and better. But you see like the raw talent that they're gonna have, like the jokes work, the everything works well. With Paul Bettany and Alan Tudyk and the jokes they have and the back and forth, it's good. Heath Ledger is great. It's just overall, like I'm not trying to toot the horn of the movie. Like there's still things that are wrong with it. Obviously, every movie does have it, but I'm just saying, just for them, because it is rough around the edges. I want to say, like the acting is still rough around the edges. I feel at times I'm kind of like, but you do feel that they are putting forth a lot of effort, and you can kind of tell that. You can see the progression. It's one of those movies that at one point you go, well, this is where they started, and then you can see them. Dark. When he's the Joker, you can see.
Yeah, you can kind of see like where Heath Ledger's got a lot of potential. Like he's good, but he's not like Heath Ledger yet.
Yeah, he's not Heath Ledger.
You can see that he will become like a great actor of his generation, but he's not quite.
But he's not there. Yeah, and that's something that I appreciate with the movie. It's a little rough, but at the same time, it works with it. Especially being like just that genre that it is and where it's at, the little roughness kind of works for it in a way. But
I hear you.
It's overall, I thought it's not an Academy Award winning movie. It's not the best movie. It's not gonna blow your socks off. It's not gonna shatter all your expectations, but the movie itself, even though I watched it back in the day, and I really enjoyed it back in the day, and I thought, I haven't seen it in a few years. When I brought it up, I just remembered from back then. I saw it, and I'm like, you know what? It still holds up to the same standards that it did back then. It's not a terrible movie. It's just a nice watch movie. Like it's not going to bore you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun watch.
It's just a fun watch. It's not, like I said, it's not going to blow your socks off. The experience isn't going to change your life, but it's one of those movies that you can watch for about, 2-hour movie, and you just enjoy the movie and you kind of forget where you're at for a little bit. You just kind of go with it and you just have fun.
Yeah, and it's definitely during these kind of like trying times. It's a good just like kind of like turn your brain off and watch a fun movie. When I rewatched it, I was with my brother briefly, and it was the first time during this whole isolation. And I was like, all right, let's have some drinks, and I got drunk and watched the movie, and it was a fucking great time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that movie, it just kind of lends itself to the funness, because on the surface, just looking at it, it looks like a kind of like historical period piece movie, but it's because it's got all these anachronisms, like the music, but it's not just the music, it's stuff like she's got like purple streaks in her hair, and it doesn't, it's not like a mistake, it does these things knowingly, and it kind of, like you were saying, that builds that kind of like feeling of the movie, because the movie it's really like a 90s sports movie, honestly, masquerading.
Damn it! I was going to mention that.
Yeah, that's correct.
And it's honestly, it's closer to the Mighty Ducks than it is the Gladiator.
Down to the usage of "We Will Rock You." It is a sports movie, and I came to that realization on this recent watching.
Yeah, and it's like stuff like, oh, it's the world championship, and like they have like the tournament and everything. It's really just like one of those '90s kind of great sports movies.
I mean,
they always have
like
these.
They even have like a training montage too.
Yeah,
at the beginning.
And there's like a training montage. There's always like in those movies, there's always like an evil like villain who just has no redeeming qualities. Like Rufus Sewell is such a fucking good villain in this movie. He's just like scheming and evil, and like there's nothing about him you like. I really like the love story in this. I feel like if it was a worse movie, the love story would have been like he would have seen the princess at first, but then he would have been like, oh, actually, I really want to go for the blacksmith. But they're like, no, we don't do that. The blacksmith is just a cool character. She's a woman who happens to be good at blacksmithing. She's got a little stuff in there about being a widow, and she just helps out. Like there's some cool female characters in this, and they don't need to like make it cliched. Honestly, like all around, this is just like a fucking fun, good watch. Yeah. Like watch it, maybe have a drink. You don't have to, but like all the way around, I just really love it. I love the stuff. Like there's hints of historical stuff, like Geoffrey Chaucer obviously wrote the Canterbury Tales, one of which is A Knight's Tale. I think it's the first one. It's nothing like this. It's like about like Roman gods and shit. And then obviously the Black Prince, and they were both around in the same century. I think they would have been roughly the right age, depending on when this is set. I think I saw some behind the scenes stuff where Paul Bettany said it was set in like the 1370s, which would have kind of worked if like when like because that would have been before the Black Prince died and before Geoffrey Chaucer had written his Canterbury Tales. So it's kind of fun to have some like kind of little historical things like that, even though they're like, yeah, Geoffrey Chaucer was like a drunk gambler, which I don't think was a thing. Really fun movie. And I really would like to see more movies like this where on the surface they look like one genre of movie and it's just a completely different genre when you actually watch the content of the movie. And that's something really unique and fun that this movie does that not a lot of things do.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, going off of that, I was thinking the same thing. Like, this is like maybe my 10th time watching this because it used to be always on DBS, so it was something to watch. But yeah, like for some reason, like at the beginning of this this movie, like maybe like even 10 minutes in, I was like, this is a sports movie, and I ended up like watching it this time. I ended up enjoying it that way, and like I've enjoyed it before, and it is like a pretty good movie in my opinion. But to experience it that way, and also I think the stages I've like seen it is like maybe the classic, like kind of historic but not really historic kind of way, and then like the slight love story kind of movie, and then now this time around seeing it as, this is a sports movie, and kind of like paying more attention to the actual jousting element of the movie. So it's a movie that gives a multi-layer kind of in watching it, and you can analyze a couple of different times when you watch it. But I agree with Fred about how this kind of shows the early stages of all these different actors that have gone to numerous successes later on in their career, and that might have contributed to kind of like the mixed review of this movie, because this is like about the time after Heath Ledger did 10 Things I Hate About You, so he's kind of coming off of that kind of like slight teen heartthrob kind of persona that hasn't really reached like the... Yeah,
this is before Brokeback, but after 10 Things, so yeah, he's still that very much that teen heartthrob kind of like not taken super seriously yet.
Yeah, so having that kind of thing, and then Alan Tudyk was just coming off of Firefly, so he wasn't that big of a well-known actor or character actor for that reason, that he's known for so much in recent history with his numerous voice talents, voicing my Green Arrow, or or any of the Pixar.
He's in like all the Disney movies now.
Yeah, oh my god!
He's like and he was
John Ratzenberger. He played a chicken.
Wasn't he the robot in Rogue One?
Yeah, he's the robot.
Yeah, he was the robot.
He's coming back too. But yeah, I mean, for a guy who could play a chicken in a Pixar Disney movie,
I went to Juilliard.
Like a master.
And master, yeah. But yeah, I think it's just these early stages of these great actors, and to that, just going back and watching it for that reason and seeing where these actors that you come to love and like are in your daily lives. In the case of Alan Tudyk, to see them in their early days is a pretty good experience also to top it all off.
Yep.
What
do you think, Owen?
I enjoyed it. I agree with everybody on a lot of points. I do have some things that I didn't care for. Well, this is a minor thing. It's very long. I didn't know it was that long. I was like, oh, it's probably like an hour and a half or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's just because like right when the credits started, I was like, oh, it's a sports movie set in medieval times because of We Will Rock You. And I remember watching it way back in the day every now and again. I'd go to Fred's house and he'd have it on or his sister has it on. And I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But yeah, I remember going, holy shit, this is 2 hours and a half?
Yeah.
I was like, this is a very long movie. So that was my only gripe. It could have been cut down to like 2 hours, but it's not a big deal. Actually, all of these aren't really like hating on it. I just kind of go, oh, they're small little nitpicks. Villain, for me, I thought he was pretty generic. I was like, yeah, he's the typical jock. I was like, all right, whatever. He's going to be the bad guy. And then this one was actually the biggest nitpick with me and my girlfriend because she watched it with me. So what about Homegirl, the romantic lead, female romantic lead? She has the most 1990s fucking outfits and hairstyles compared to everybody else. There was literally a scene.
I think she was literally wearing one of the same outfits that Julia Roberts wore in Pretty Woman. Kind of.
The Chanel outfit?
Yeah.
My girlfriend literally yelled at the screen and was like, "Oh my god, this bitch came out in her Chanel," and I was like, "Holy shit!" She did.
You know, and like she had the purple hair, which is like funny because like purple like
hair.
Purple, like you couldn't like even get purple dyes like back in those days. That's why purple's associated with royalties because it was such like a fucking impossible color to make. And
so
I'm
to
just
actually
like,
dye your hair with that too.
Like she was just like
she was super
like,
rich.
and then we kept going. We're like, who the fuck is she? We're like, is she a witch because she has these futuristic clothes, or is she a noblewoman? Who the fuck? Like I was like, is she like a tournament roadie?
No, she was a noblewoman.
Yeah. She was a noble. We had to look it up, and we're like, oh, she's a noblewoman. But we're just like, she's like a '90s witch, fucking time traveler noblewoman. We're like, okay, that's what she is.
Yeah, because all the knights were
like
supposed to be.
She's like Melissa Joan Hart's sister.
What?
She's like Melissa Joan Hart's sister.
Yeah, fucking Sabrina the medieval witch.
Yeah, no, because I was gonna say like no, everybody had to be of some kind of noble household to be a knight. Mm-hmm. So everybody watching them up in the stands were all either royalty or high society sitting there. So that's how come that's how you get that gist of when the girl comes and says, "Oh, my lady wants to talk to you." Mm-hmm. It's where you're supposed to infer that she was of some kind of higher status.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Because after a while they're like, "Oh, Sir Ulrich of whatever," and then Sir Black Prince of England, Sir, or I'm sorry, Lady 1990s over here, fucking. Da, 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 da. But no, yeah, I mean, other than those three, I really enjoyed the movie. It's a lot of fun. I like the soundtrack. Like Derek said, it's very anachronistic. Which I enjoyed. I was like, I actually like that when movies, even if they're like a period piece, but they add like modern music. I always enjoyed that. Like I know Django Unchained. There's a scene where like Django's just he saves the day or something in the middle of the movie, and this like fucking rap song just blares. And I remember seeing it in the theater and just everybody got hype, and I was like, "That's pretty sick. I like it. It's just a modern day
gives you the Afro Samurai feel."
Fuck yeah, like that. Afro
Parts
Samurai.
of the Great Gatsby did that pretty well.
That might be also.
Yeah, Great Gatsby did a good job with that too.
That might also be one reason, like why. I mean, because medieval times is something that's very. It's kind of a culturist thing with like Renaissance fairs and things like that.
Yeah.
So there might have been like a
group of people turned off.
They're like, oh, this isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
Like the purists might have given it a bad rap too, because I mean, and then also what we were saying earlier that people weren't as accepting of anachronistic kind of elements to movies so much back then than they are now for some reason.
Yeah, because that was, I think, a lot of the reason it got bad reviews. People were like, "What is this Queen song doing this movie about the Middle Ages?" Ugh. I'm like, "Fuck you."
I mean, and there was a lot of storylines going through it. So you had the sports theme, right? Mm-hmm. Then you've got the theme in there with the love of the guy and the girl, right? Mm-hmm. So you got
it's like an adaptation.
So
of like
the one thing that
as well.
Hang on, and then you also have a story about a father and a son.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to tell him, you know what, if you try the hardest, you can achieve your dreams. And so, like, there's like 3 different kinds of genres of things still mixed together in this medieval movie. So it can be a lot if you really delve into it. For the first time since I've watched the movie at all, I've always the one thing I've always wondered was, because I didn't pay like 100% attention. I just enjoyed the movie. Every time I watched it, I just watched it, right? Mm-hmm. At the end scene, when they're kissing, the stars are around them. I've always been like, what the fuck is that, dude? That always takes me out. I'm like, this is one of those damn Grease movies where they fly, right? But that's not it. It's because the dad's always telling the son that, you know, you can always change your destiny. You can always change the stars. Mm-hmm. So at the end, when the stars come out, it's his changing the destiny, changing the stars. So it obviously makes sense, but I've never really looked into it. Dragonheart's a really good movie. Isn't that the one with Sean Connery?
Yeah,
I'm a dragon
and the stars and shit.
Yeah, and you know what? That's going to be the next podcast we're going to do.
No, I just watched Stardust. We should do that.
Which one?
Yeah.
I've actually seen Stardust. I think I might be down.
Stardust was like the impetus for us doing this whole thing.
Yeah, it's the impetus of everybody doing this kind of podcast.
Rob was just like, wait, Stardust, that's a fucking good movie.
That's the whole thing. It's the most well-known
Hold up.
movie.
Hold on. What is Stardust? I keep asking everybody.
It's a Neil Gaiman adapted film.
It's got really, Daredevil and Superman in it.
Superman, Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Robert De Niro plays a gay space pirate that flies through the sky.
Again, I'm saying what?
Yeah, it's really good.
It's incredible.
No, I said I don't. You know which one I thought you guys were talking about was the one where damn it, what's his name? Brendan Fraser is reading a book.
No. Goodness me, what is it?
I don't know, but that's what I thought you guys were talking about.
No, it's not Bedazzled.
It's the rip-off of a Page Master. I know which one you're talking about.
Blast for the Past.
No, that one's a good one too.
George of the Jungle 2.
I haven't actually.
Obviously, we're getting off topic. Yeah. I don't know what the movie you guys are talking about is. Probably never seen it.
It's really good. It's like
it's on Netflix.
It's the most well-known.
Listen, not gonna watch it unless we gotta watch it. That's I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. I'm not gonna watch it unless we gotta watch it.
Well, we might just.
But yeah, like I said, that was the one thing that I didn't really like. I've seen it, but I've never brought it actually to break it down like that. Because this time around, watching the movie, whenever I watch the movies for what we're doing now, I'm watching them objectively to see what it is at the end. So that's why I picked up a lot more of the dad. I picked up that love story over there. I picked up the jock thing here, and then I noticed that at the end, finally, with the stars, man, I was like, oh, so it wasn't just a throwaway scene. It actually meant something because the dad's looking up to the sky, even though he's blind. He's been looking up to the sky to see the change in the stars because of his son.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally, obviously, watching it more objectively and seeing what's going on, I finally picked up on that.
It's kind of a beautiful moment, I think.
Yeah.
For me, I was like, eh.
But I'm gonna tell you,
they're in love. I don't care.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. Before I just saw it as a whatever scene, but
Inkheart.
I was looking.
Inkheart. Dragonheart. Inkheart. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah.
That's why we got confused.
And I've seen those 2 movies, and those 2 movies are good. But yeah.
No, I mean, it's a fun flick. One thing I will say is I just to kind of finish up. I think it's underrated. I do deem it to be underrated. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff of it. I don't think it's Oscar worthy or anything like that, but I think it's a fun flick to watch. Definitely you're not going to be disappointed. I think when you finish it, I think you might be like, it's a little too long, but I think also like everybody was saying, it's great to see all the actors, before their prime. I mean, especially seeing Paul Bettany and Alan Tudyk. I fucking absolutely love Alan Tudyk. He's especially on a podcast about underrated films. the most underrated actor, in my opinion, is fucking Alan Tudyk. That guy,
one of the hardest working too.
Kills. Yeah, he's the Joker right now in Harley Quinn, the show. He's Mr. Nobody in Doom Patrol, where he fucking destroyed that movie, like that show. Like he just killed it. Like he stole the show. He's on all the Disney blockbusters right now. He's always in something.
Yeah, and he's literally a voice in like every single Disney movie.
Yeah, go on IMDb, put Alan Tudyk. Look at all the fucking Disney movies he's in, and you're like, oh shit! Like this guy, he's just a badass.
Yeah, the things they did with Pixar with John Ratzenberger, they're doing that now with Alan Tudyk in Disney movies. Like he's their good luck charm.
Yeah, and then also with Star Wars. I mean, he is the reason why they're having a prequel show of Diego Luna's character and his
Cassian Andor
from is because of him. Is because his character of
K3SO?
K3SO, yeah.
KRS-One.
Oh yeah.
Son of a police. His character, their dynamic in that movie, and mainly because of him, is the reason why they're creating a whole show off of two characters that technically have died already.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for Rogue One.
I mean, it's Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk. Like, what else can you want? Like, you might as well just be like The Mandalorian Part 2.
Yeah, you can really see. You can really see. Diego Luna is a really good actor. I mean, you can really see it. Yeah. If you guys ever watch Casa de Mi Padre, you can really see his acting. You can see his acting shine, really come out and shine on that one.
Yeah, but for me, final things are like, it's really great movie. If you are a general fan of
Game of Thrones,
movies, of sports movies in general, and you wanted to see something different, but in the same vein, then definitely check this out. It's a great movie in that way, but also it has all these little entwines of course medieval things and things like that. Maybe not too much, but there's all these different things if you're interested in that too. Definitely great acting, like we've said. Paul, just like one of the also main reasons to watch is just Paul Bettany's just his acting during the introductions of Ledger's character.
So fucking good.
Oh yeah, like, so good.
Just so
like as an English major, like who loves Geoffrey Chaucer and thinks he's probably the most influential writer ever. Like he fucking nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, the first time he introduces him, it's just like so enthralling, and it's just like gets better and better with every sentence of the whole like he did not speak for a year just to know the importance of a whisper and just all this.
That shit cracked me up. I'm not gonna lie. That shit killed me. I was like, fuck yeah.
It just gets you. You like you're gonna want a person like that just to like that, and just to
he's the number one hype man right behind Flav.
Exactly.
I would put him above Flav.
You know what he's gonna do? What I want him to do now in WandaVision is just as soon. Fuck yeah! Every time, like she's just like when she rocks the classic, like in the trailer, she's rocking the classic Scarlet Witch costume. He's gonna be like, "Oh my fucking god, chaos magic and fucking da 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 da! Look at her, she's gonna do this and that." I'd be like, "Hell yeah, fuck yeah, dude!" just be Vision in a plaid shirt, just hyping up Scarlet Witch.
Now I wanted him to be when he was Jarvis, hyping up Iron Man right before he comes out on stage.
Yeah.
Hey, fucking House of Emmett, dude. She's like, she can literally just House of M that shit and just be like, you know what? You'd be really fucking cool if you, Paul Bettany, can be Jarvis, Vision, and Paul Bettany, and
hyping yourself up,
hyping everyone up, hyping all four versions of you up. That's it. Yeah, we'll just call it Paul Bettany Vision.
Yeah, you're gonna hype yourself
Paul
up.
Bettany Vision, House of M.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I'd watch it.
I'd be down.
But yeah, definitely, in my opinion, a must watch. Especially if you're a fan of Heath Ledger. I mean, who isn't? But
right.
Yeah.
I won't lie though. I, like right when you said that, who isn't a fan of Heath Ledger? I like Heath Ledger. I kind of thought for a while his I liked his performance when The Dark Knight came out of the Joker. I really loved it. And then after a while, I was like, yeah, you know what? It was really cool. But now,
But it's not as good as Jared Leto's. I get you. I feel you.
Yes, of course.
I feel you.
Stole the show. And Suicide Squad.
That's why he's Morbius now.
But now, like, with seeing Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, Arthur Fleck, not the Joker. Now I go, damn, you know what? Heath Ledger really did a great job. I'm the one who just did not care for.
You're like, wow, he did a better job than I thought. Is that what you're saying?
Joker movie.
No, I just thought, like, you know what? Heath Ledger really killed it. I guess my suspicions were correct after the past 12 years. But
yeah, I mean, he is, in my opinion, one among the greats. Of course, the all great ever being is Mark Hamill. But
listen, if you watch his portrayal in Brokeback Mountain,
you're like, I see the pain he has as the Joker.
No, what I'm saying is, like, you would almost be like, yeah, I could. You feel sorry for him for what he goes through, and that's how I go. Man, this guy's a good actor. He makes me feel bad for his situation.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at we're to Heath Ledger mode. If you look over
he is an actor in the film.
Filmography, it's just so many different types of characters. Like this character, his 10 Things I Hate About You character, that multi-layer performance there.
Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
But also like Brothers Grimm of being this shy kind of character.
That was pretty good.
Oh, that was a good one.
That's a movie you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that even existed, but I think I enjoyed it.
It's not like I said, that's another one that's not like winning performances, but it's a good movie for what it is, I guess.
Exactly. For what it is, yeah.
Yeah, for what it is, it's not bad. I mean, it's no Van Helsing with what's his face?
Wolverine.
Hugh
Jacked man.
That was actually a good movie in my opinion.
I fucking love that movie.
From,
I love it.
I liked it when I was 13.
I enjoyed it.
You know the Duke from Moulin Rouge is
Ewan McGregor?
No, Dracula. Duke. The one that's trying to slut up Nicole Kidman's character in Moulin Rouge.
I didn't watch that movie.
Oh my god!
I love a long time.
I like the song.
I'm so sorry, Ariel. I misheard you. I thought you said the Duke of Mulan, and I was like,
"Who?"
I was like, "Wait, that vampire guy? It's an animated film. How is he there?" I'm like, he was like Fa Mulan.
My god!
I'll get you next time, Van Helsing. I mean Mulan.
Mulan, you and your little dragon Mushu.
Oh, now it's a phoenix.
I'm sorry, what?
The Mushu's not in it. It's a phoenix.
I don't know how I feel about that. I really liked Mushu.
Immediately, I was like, I don't want to watch it.
I really like Mushu.
I'm excited.
Can you imagine that replacing Eddie Murphy though?
Well, no, but I liked Mushu.
Will
like
Smith?
You could have done it
twice in a row, baby. Will Smith is.
I would. I'm excited.
Mushu.
Hey,
fuck it. Let's go.
What about okay? What about Chris Rock as Mushu?
I mean, Chris Rock it was Eddie Murphy's protege.
Well, then just make Eddie Murphy again. Why not have him do it?
I don't know. Like I love Mulan and I love Mushu, but it kind of felt like a little out of place. You're just like, okay, this is
really. I really like the dragon part.
Mushu.
It's like James Hong and like George Takei and Eddie Murphy. All right, okay.
It worked for me.
It's very blasphemy.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was fine.
I liked him and I liked the cricket. And I'm like, if there's no cricket, I don't know how I'm going to feel, man.
I don't know. I feel like that's the kind of remake that Disney should be making instead of like movies like The Lion King and Aladdin, which are just like beat for beat remakes. It's like, we'll take something that's like inspired by it and like it's got the same kind of general story, but it's not just like, here's all the same things. We've got to make sure we have Mushu in it because Mushu was in the old one. Like, just give me something that like has the flavor of Mulan, but it's a different movie. Otherwise, why am I just watching The Lion King again, but worse?
Well,
hang on. Or why are you remaking all these movies that were already good anyways and trying to milk me for some more money on the same nostalgia factor?
Yeah, because they're going to do that regardless. So if they're going to do that, they might as well make a new original good movie, you know?
Like, or just remaster it and put it back in
computer. You know, like I have some problems with the Jon Favreau Jungle Book, but at least it's a different movie than the old Jungle Book, you know?
Or they can just make Tron 3.
Boom.
That'd be cool.
Finally, make that fucking. We're gonna have to wait like another It was like 30 years between Tron 2 and 3. Another 30 years. It's gonna be like 2050 before.
As long as,
it's gonna be
as long as we get Daft Punk one more time.
It's gonna be Olivia Wilde and
pun intended.
It's gonna be Olivia Wilde and the guy's kid.
Garrett Hedlund.
Yeah, Garrett
Is that his name?
Hedlund. Yeah.
They're gonna have to
Nobody
use
knows
technology.
I've already watched it for fucking Big Lebowski.
All right. Well, to tie it all back together, Knight's Tale is a very original movie. So go
watch
it.
Yeah, check it out.
I recommend it.
It's
it's definitely a recommend from me too.
I think
it's how the young kids would say it's a slap.
What would you know about you?
I keep hearing it's a slap.
What are you trying to say? I'm not that old. How would I not know what a slap or a bop is?
Running joke.
Yeah, you're like what, 2 years older than us or something?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Excuse me, I'm not 72.
I'm tying it back to when I accidentally called you old, like a couple.
I know you are, but is this going to be a theme every time?
It's going to be like the new running joke. You know, Batman, Superman, like, you know, this
was
is
just
going to be the
there.
next one.
It was just there. I had to. Okay.
Fuck.
I'm sorry.
It's low-hanging fruit.
I know.
But don't trip, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I hope you guys loved it. Yeah. Go out and watch A Knight's Tale. Next week, Batman v Superman reviewed and talked about by an old man.
God, Jesus, I'm
and
not
going to watch
that movie.
That movie. Is me, because I'm 29. I'm almost 30. I'm going to die soon.
You're going to be 30 this month. Welcome to the Old Man's Club. Welcome to the Old Man's Club.
Oh, shit. I'm going to die. I can feel it. My left arm.
What?
Yeah, I turned 36 months ago, and I basically just, you know, like, I'm just falling apart ever since.
Hey, listen. If you guys think that's bad, I'm about to turn 35. You guys aren't even there yet. Like, it only gets better from here.
You're not as old.
Okay, I guess we'll wrap it up.
35 is the new 21.
It's like, he's almost 50.
It's almost. Not yet, but almost.
Well, thank you, everybody out there, for listening. Go ahead and, if you can, subscribe to us on whatever podcasting app you're listening to us on, and give us a rating and a review. If you're listening on iTunes, 5 stars. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, if you guys really want to support us, you know, go on our YouTube and start liking our videos and subscribing there, because that's one way. That's one because that's honest to God, that is one way you guys can really support us. Because right now we're not running ads on anything. We're not doing, you know, we're not asking for you guys' money. But it would be great if you guys could go on YouTube and start supporting us there, because eventually we could get some ad revenue from that stuff, and and that can support us, because we're just a bunch of guys, and ladies, doing a podcast that we're not getting, we're basically giving our time and stuff, and it would be nice to be able to upscale our stuff, because we're just broke people enjoying what we do. But a free way to support us would be going on YouTube and doing that, and that'd be fantastic. We would really appreciate that.
Or mention us to a friend if you want to, because iTunes, or however Spotify, however you listen to us too, just share it out there. Or even just if you have an idea for something you'd like to hear, let us know, interact with us either by a review or a comment on YouTube, or send us an email, or we're undercastcompany@gmail.com. However you want to interact with us, we'd love to hear from you guys. If you want to talk about a certain movie or something, we're always listening. But thank you guys, everybody, for listening. Once again, we've been the Undercast Company. Got Ariel Ortiz.
Thanks for being amazing.
Alan and Fred Torres.
Laters.
Later, guys. Have a drink on me.
And me, Derek McDuff. I'll see you guys in another life.
I went to Juilliard.